Well, television presentation is an interesting business to be involved in, and someone who is making waves, particularly in the UK scene, with a programme called The Irish Golfer on Sky, is Nikki Kavanagh. She does a lot more besides, but we're delighted to welcome her here to the studio. Nikki, good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
How did you get yourself into television in the first place?
It was an accident. It all started back with my movie extras days. I joined a website like hundreds of other people in the country, logged on, uploaded a few photographs, went to a few auditions for, extra parts, The Tudors, George Gently, got a few bits, didn't get a few bits, then got a nice call for a TV show to be a presenter. I thought, well, sure, I'll chance it, see how it goes, and went along, and all of a sudden it was call back time. Great. Call back again, and then it was down to the nitty gritty. Do you know anything about golf? No. and I kind of thought they're either admire my honesty here or they're going to kick me out the door.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because TV often ends up about what you look like,
yes,
rather than what you know. But golf is a very specialised subject.
It sure
and
is.
You do have to know something. How have you managed to increase your knowledge of what is a very male-dominated sport?
Mm-hmm.
And is also a very specialised sport as well.
It sure is, and there's a lot involved in golf. It's not as straightforward as football, for example. It's on most Wednesday nights. It's a specific tournament. It follows through. With golf, there's something different going on every week. And if you are not tuned in to what's going on each day, tee off till the end, you're lost. So I've been reading books. I've been getting lessons from Mel Flanagan, and I've been just out on the golf course, just basically playing. Just trying to build up my knowledge, learn the terminology, the scoring, how the points work. Everything is just so new to me that my brain is a bit like a sponge now. It's new brain food, but I'm loving it. It's a new hobby that is kind of, it's paying as well, so it's great.
It's interesting, isn't it? I think it's, for a lot of girls, there is an ambition, and we see it ourselves, there is an ambition to be involved in television, yet when one gets the access to it, you find out that it's not all about glamour and makeup and fun and so on. There is a serious side to it. There is a lot of presentation, preparation and dedication to making it in this particular business. Oh,
there sure is. There really is. I mean, you can't sit in front of somebody, as you well know, if you don't know anything about them. You have to research who you're going to be interviewing. You need to know what they are, what they have been at, who they're with, how they've done in the last few years, anything bad that's gone on, anything good that's gone on. You also need to use your personality as well as your knowledge, and try and build a rapport with that person to get them to communicate with you, because I mean that interview, even though it's 5 or 6 minutes long, can feel like hours long if the person is not reciprocating your
forthcoming.
Yes, it's kind of hard when you're trying to be nice to somebody, and if they're not in the humour, it's difficult, and you really have to use personality, charm and knowledge. All three, I think, make a good interview. And
who have you met in the golf world that would impress me?
Well, I've chatted recently to JD, John Daly, Nick Doherty, we've Graham McDowell, Gareth Maven.
Okay, the whole lot.
Yeah, we've met most of them. We've had most of the guys on the show now. It's hard to get them at the minute because a lot of them are in the US, the tournament that's on at the moment. But whenever we can, we nab the guys, and they've always been, so far so good. I haven't had any problems. Quite enjoyed interviewing them, and I've always been very kind of honest that I'm a rookie. I'm learning, so I kind of watch the interviews back and go, okay, I'm not sure what he meant by that. I'll look it up. Next time, I know what he's talking about now.
Yep.
And they're kind of understanding that it's new to you, and they're very helpful.
Yeah, but I think that as well, giving them a fresh approach gives them an opportunity to talk about something in a different way, not just the kind of Peter Alice, what shape is your swing,
Yeah, exactly. And what as well is I think they like, but I suppose everybody likes talking about themselves, don't they? And when you are talking to somebody who is interested, like I am, because I'm learning, it's easier. If it's different if you're talking to somebody that's a real golf buff that knows their stuff, but when you're talking to somebody that doesn't really know their stuff, that's very keen to learn, I think they find it a little endearing, and they do kind of spill a little bit more, and the interviews are a little bit more kind of, they're more friendlier. Okay,
when you look at your website, it becomes very obvious that you're into a lot more than just television presentation and golf. I was intrigued to read that you're an expert on, and presenter, or performer of, I should say, of funeral music. It's a bit depressing.
Yes, it is a little sad, unfortunately. Where there's life, there's death. It's not something that I would. You can't enjoy singing at somebody's funeral, but I mean there is a requirement for music at somebody's funeral. It can often make the mass very special, especially if people are particularly into music. So, it would probably happen around once a week.
Really? As much as that?
Yeah, it would, unfortunately. A lot more, only for I'm not available, so I do pass a lot of work on to a couple of other singers.
How did you get into singing? Was it at school?
Believe it or not, in school I hid down the back. Sister Roisin will only be too happy to verify that. I was very shy, down the back of the choir, really, mortified. But when I got out of school, I had been dancing the whole time, and a friend of mine's mother kept pushing me into, get out there and sing, get out, push yourself out there. And I was a bit of a, I don't know. And somebody was sick. That's the same old story. Literally, God honest truth, a girl was sick and I got pushed out front to sing The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow, which my mother has on video, and if it ever gets onto YouTube, I'm emigrating. But since then, I've never looked back. I realised in my early 20s, doing the 9 to 5, that this just sucked. It wasn't for me. And when I realised I could make money from music, I jumped. Started working on some ideas website-wise, so I had to kind of finance that, so I had to work for quite a few years. I have a small child as well, so jumping into entrepreneurship wasn't quite an option for me then.
And what's next for you? What do you hope to move on to? I mean, you've done well to get on what is the biggest channel in Britain and Ireland, if you like, and that's a real launch pad. Where would you like to take it in terms of television, particularly?
I don't know. At the moment, I'm kind of focusing on the golf end of things, because I'm a keen golfer now. I'm playing more, and I actually quite enjoy it, which I didn't think that I would. I'll be honest, and I really didn't think it was going to be for me. So I'm going to focus more on that. I'd like to be on screen more, practice a little bit more. I'm still, the camera is not fully my friend yet. I'm getting there with it, but I absolutely would like to stay in TV and just, be on a weekly show more so than a monthly show, I think. So hopefully the golf show will, eventually go down that road.
Yeah, it gets you into the marketplace.
Yeah,
people get to know your face, and it's
Exactly.
It's very difficult to get anywhere unless you've done something.
But this is it. You know yourself, you can do as many courses as you like. And a lot of people I know have done many courses for TV, presenting and whatever, and they've gone to auditions and not got them, and they're a bit like, you got in there fairly quickly. But I've been slogging for years doing music auditions and not gone anywhere, and it's just right place, right time. So I just want to be on screen more and just perfect what I'm doing.
Okay, and if people want to learn more about you, you have a website. Tell us a bit about that.
I do. I have NikkiKavanagh.com, which I'm actually revamping at the minute, just purely because the TV thing has kind of come on stream now, and it was very much music.
That's Nikki with a 2 Ks, N-I-K-K-I.
Kavanagh.com, yeah, with a K. It's great. I'm trying to make the site more interactive. There's going to be a blog going up on it. I've also got a news page now, which has, it's a photo gallery of what's going on and what's been in the newspapers, what's not. But I'm trying to make it as useful as I can, more so for people that will be using it, i.e. brides, which are my most important
for
clients.
wedding singing and
yes,
so on.
They're my most important clients now. They all come via Weddings Online to my site, and basically everything that a bride needs to know should be there, because a lot of women that when get engaged, they're so excited they don't know anything else.
Right.
They need to book their hotel, but other than that, they have no idea what comes next. It's so exciting. It's almost blinding. I'm not married myself, but I've worked with so many brides over the years now. I could nearly actually marry people in the church myself.
They are another string to your bow. Okay.
Don't tempt me.
Okay, well, congrats on all you've done, Nikki. It's great to see you. And for our viewers, it's NikkiKavanagh.com.
It is, or www.irishgolf.tv is the official site for the golf show as well.
irishgolf.tv. Okay, Nikki Kavanagh there telling us about what she's been doing. Very interesting as well, too, and the best of luck to her, particularly in her television career. For those of you who were around during the 1980s, like me, you'll remember Moving Hearts, Christy Moore, and so on. They're back. They're going to be touring. We'll be finding out more after this break.